Welcome, everybody, to the brand new Living Jewishly podcast. The goal of this podcast is to give the practical how-to of living a Jewish life. We have been learning together for many years about what Hashem wants us to do. But many times we fail to discuss about how Hashem wants us to do certain things. Every single detail of our lives, there is a halacha, there is a guidance of teaching for the right way to do things, the way Hashem wants us to do it. So we're going to start from waking up in the morning all the way till the end of the halacha. Hopefully Hashem will give us the strength and the ability to every week produce another class on a practical application of halacha. How do we do it? So the first one we are going to tackle is waking up in the morning. How do we wake up as a Jew? The proper frame of mind of a Jew. So I tried to summarize the entire category of halacha dealing with waking up in the morning and put it into one-page review. To all of our friends online, to those listening on the podcast, you're welcome to email me at awolbe@torchweb.org, and I will happily send you the weekly review of halacha. Okay, so it begins as follows. There's a verse in Psalms that tells us, I have set Hashem before me at all times, and He is at my right side. I shall not falter. Always have Hashem before you. Have the presence of mind that Hashem is there before me, always including when conducting your routine daily activities. So if you're at the bank, yeah. At work, yeah. At home, even in bed, there is a presence of mind that Hashem is there, like a subject before a king. The way we talk and or walk before a dignified master is different from our casual way of living. So even in private, we must maintain our focus. Remember that Hashem sees everything. Hashem sees everything. When one wakes up, the first thing on their mind should be that they are here, alive on planet Earth, to serve Hashem. Number 3, the Mishnah in Ethics of Our Fathers teaches us, be bold like a leopard, light as an eagle, swift as a deer, and strong as a lion. Bold in not shying away because of what people say. You know what? You're going to do things and people could be like, oh, you became all religious. You can't eat lunch with us because it's in a non-kosher restaurant, right? Bold in not shying away because of what people will say. It's not every person faces this challenge. I face this challenge. I've had people who said, oh, you can't meet with me in a non-kosher restaurant. Let's just cancel the meeting. Like, you know what? That's fine. I'm willing to take it. Right? That is the way Hashem wants us to conduct our lives. Bold like a leopard. Light as an eagle with our eyes. Always seeing positive in others and not judging harshly. Be light with how you see things. Also, controlling our desires. Eyes are the source of our desires. So be like an eagle in that you're easy. You're easy to fly away from things that can control your desires. Swift as a deer. Swift with our legs to do good things. We mentioned in our previous classes that every step that a person takes to go learn Torah, to go pray, they are rewarded for. Every single step, every ounce of gas that you have taken to come to this class is a mitzvah, and you will be rewarded for it. But guess what? There's another level, and that is running to shul. In fact, a person's not generally supposed to run. The Torah says it's not a dignified way, except to go do a mitzvah, like to pray, to learn, to go do acts of kindness, that you can rush for. Now, that doesn't mean you should break laws and, evade the speed limit and run away from the cops because you're going to do a mitzvah. But be swift like a deer. And the last of those 4 is strong like a lion, strong at heart to serve Hashem with determination, no matter the detractors. So the 4th halacha here is the Yetzer Hara may try to convince you to stay asleep, both in the winter and in the summer. Our job is to overcome and focus on what's important. Get up like a lion before Hashem. Get up like a lion before Hashem. The Halacha says this. In the winter, the Yetzer Hara says, oh, it's so cozy under your blanket, just stay in bed. And in the summer, it's like, oh, where are you rushing to? It's a nice long day. Relax. But there's work to do. We're only here for a limited amount of time on planet Earth. And we have work to do. We've got things to accomplish. Overcome the naysayers and those who may mock your commitment and dedication to serving Hashem. As nighttime is a very special time for prayer and spiritual connection, many righteous people get up at midnight to mourn the temple and our exile. After these prayers, it is auspicious to learn Torah. I inserted this here so that we know that there are people like that in the world today. It's not an expectation that any of us, definitely not me, y'all can do it, but that we're going to wake up at midnight to start praying for the destruction of the temple or for the exile of the Jewish people, which we're in right now. Even though we may not feel it, we may feel comfortable, but Hashem constantly reminds us with every anti-Semitic piece of news that you've ever read, heard, or saw. It's a reminder. Hashem is telling you, you're not free. You are in exile. With your cars, with your homes, with your vacations, with everything that goes on in your world. It's not just a minor distraction. It is a message where Hashem is telling us, remember, you are in exile. Now, some general rules in Judaism. Important to know these two pieces of information. It's always better to do less, but with proper intention and focus, than to do more without focus and intention. So let me give you an example. Let's say we're praying. So there's a lot of words to say, but how about feeling? The Halacha states this time and again. It's better to say less with intention, with focus, and feeling it, than to just read it like it's a New York Times article and just read it and have no feeling towards it. It's better to pray less with more intention and more focus than to pray more with no intention or focus. Okay, so it's quality versus quantity. One should avoid reciting verses of Tanakh. This is another very important thing. The Torah, the prophets, the writings, don't recite verses by heart. The Halacha says to avoid doing that. Don't say verses by heart. It should always be said while reading it inside. So you're quoting a verse, open up, find the source, read it inside. You don't want to misquote the Torah. By memory, I forgot, it was said it the wrong way. So now, what happens when we wake up? The first words should be Modeh Ani. Modeh Ani, thank you. As no names of Hashem are to be recited before washing our hands with Netilas Yadayim. Netilas Yadayim, we're going to talk about next week, is washing our hands. How to wash our hands, the practical how-to we're going to see. So, very important when you wake up. By the way, this says it in Halacha. Halacha was written hundreds and hundreds of years ago. Go look at the medical journal, they'll tell you the same thing. It's not a coincidence, it's all in the Torah. Sit up and wait a bit before standing up. Don't just jump up. It's dangerous. It's very dangerous. Sit up, sit on your bed, and then you can stand up. Don't just rush like that. There's also significant health benefits. As a new creation, one must wash hands before reciting any prayers or mentioning the name of Hashem. Next week, we're going to discuss washing our hands and why it's important to wash our hands when we wake up in the morning. I wasn't involved with any tools and grease of under my car. My hands are clean from last night. What's the problem? We're going to talk about that hopefully next week. So thank you. I hope you continue to enjoy the Halacha review, and God willing, next week we will be back with more.